So last week, a film came out on Netflix, Do Patti, and it's doing very well. The numbers are it's in the top 10 in multiple countries across the world. It's number one in India, and we are going to not talk as much about the film, but about the film's producer and the leading star, Kriti Sanon, who has just had a terrific year in 2024. Um, she came on the scene in 2014, made her debut with Tiger Shroff, and all the hype was around Tiger Shroff that on that time. But I remember going to watch the film that day and writing on my Facebook page that this actor is going to go a very long way. And there have been setbacks. She's had a good day, she's had a bad days, but in 2024, I can say this for sure that she's justified she hasn't, made me look like a fool when I had put this out that I saw this actor reaching for the stars. So, Dopati I like the film. Of course, and it has been, it has been liked. There are people who've given not so good reviews about the film, but I think when you look at when you aggregate it all over the place, it's got a fairly good chunk of good reviews. But I'm not going to talk about what other people think. I'm going to talk about what I think about the film. And I saw the trailer and I actually thought Kriti is in a negative role, which actually excited me. Because I really do like actors and top actors when they push the envelope, when they do things which are out of the box. I'm not talking about just the male actors. I'm not talking about male actors. I'm also talking about female actors. And this year actually was very interesting because Kriti, she was in this film at the start of the year, her first film, Teri Baaton Mein Aisa Uljha Jiya, where she played a robot, and in the climax of the film, she turned rogue, and she was excellent in that climax sequence when she turned rogue. Actually, I won't open up and say it looked like a villain, but yes, it was. It became a kind of it was a sort of negative role. And that actually made me feel that this girl has a lot of range. And she was very good in that film. It's not easy. It's not, when you're playing a robot and you come out and go out of your character to do that. Then she was really good at this film Crew after that, where she was acting alongside Tabu, someone from the early 1990s, Kareena Kapoor from the early 2000s, and Kriti herself. And she was with these two very accomplished actresses, and she really held her own in that film. And I will say this, I think both the films are fairly successful. And Kriti's performance, at least in Teri Baaton Mein Aisa Uljha Jiya, it's one of the best performances of this year. But in Crew also, she held her own against those two very accomplished actresses. I actually thought Dopati was where Kriti's best was still to come. The trailer of Dopati didn't give too much away. And what came out in the film and what was not really there in the trailer. You would have actually thought that this was a sibling rivalry film where the evil twin was, where it's a good twin and an evil twin. But and and the evil twin is shown her place. Um, the movie then actually turns into something else. It turns into a film on domestic violence, and it starts as a evil twin, and the evil twin, Kriti playing an evil twin, was fantastic. I mean, I'm talking about Shelley. She was fantastic playing that evil twin. She was so convincing. I wish we saw more of that evil twin. It actually reminded me of a film that came out in 1993. The my knowledge could be a bit more limited, but I remember this film called Aina, and where Amrita Singh was so convincing in that film. She really took the cake, and with her acting in that film as the narcissistic sister, and she just overshadowed everyone else in that film. So this is very similar. The character of Shelley is has that same narcissistic vibe that you could have probably seen in Amrita Singh's character in Aina. But anyway, I mean, she plays a producer, and she's the producer in this film. And of course, when it starts as a film on sibling rivalry and two sisters loving, two sisters trapped between one man, and he marries the good sister for a reason which is, well, for we have to see the film. I'm not going to disclose it here, uh, but then a very strong message. I actually really like the message of domestic violence that was shown in this film. These subjects should not be treated as taboos, and I'm glad that the makers took it on. I know there was, I'm not going to, it may not have been liked by a few people. I liked the film, and I'll say that I really liked it, and I think that Kriti's performance in the second half was very, very powerful. And she's done, when I kind of said that thing about this this lady is here to stay. 10 years ago when I saw her first film, she is here to stay, and she's proven it today. I think she's not just these 3 films she's done this year. So, but her journey has not been without roadblocks. She did Heropanti, and then it wasn't till Bareli Ki Barfi in 2017 that we saw what she gave another performance which fulfilled her talent, and she was very good in that film, no doubt about it. Then in 2019 there was Panipat, which didn't do so commercially successful, which was not such a commercially successful film. There was Luka Chupi, which was a successful film. I won't say it was one of her more powerful performances, but she stood out in that film. I mean, no doubt about it. But it's post the pandemic that we can see the creation of a star in Kriti, and where what I like, and she's obviously beyond just acting. She's creating her ability to speak on issues. She's not always politically correct, but she's politically correct for what is required. But she will speak on issues. I mean, the fact that she's spoken on the way about people being at funerals, about being papped at funerals, it's just something that she's uncomfortable about. She's done this film talking about domestic violence. So I think that Kriti has said the right things, and that's one of the reasons why there's a lot to appreciate about her. She broke through with that performance in Mimi. Very, very well deserved awards for that film, be it the Filmfare Award and the IFA Award, and then the National Award, where she played a mother, and through surrogacy. What a fantastic performance in that film, and a very good film too. But then she had a spate of flops after that. There was one after another. Films didn't do well, and she had some meaningless roles also in some of those films. About 5-6 films that went on like that. And when the last of them, I think Ganpat last year, you could probably say that what was she doing? I mean, what are these films she's chosen? Of course, some of those films were chosen before the pandemic when the pandemic was still on and before we were out of it. But it's been a stellar comeback for her in 2024. She's been one of the finest performers, male and female put together, with her performances this year. And with Do Patti, very, very powerful performance of a good subject. And and I'm, I make these calls about actors. Kriti is one of them. And I think the other person I made that call about was Ranveer Singh. I saw Band Baja Barat in 2010. The film did not do very well on its, the film didn't open to very good collections on its opening day. But then the reviews started coming in, and then social media was still not as big as it is today. It was there, but it's not as huge as it's become today. But I saw that film and I said, this guy is absolutely set for stardom. And, he's proved it. He's absolutely proved it. I can say that about a lot of actors. I mean, I say that about, Ranbir Kapoor. I think it took some time. He's obviously now reached a level where he's probably a superstar, but it wasn't so. You didn't see it. You didn't see the way you saw it with Ranveer Singh. Ranveer Singh, guy is like, if he does not make it to the top, I'll be so surprised. And the same with Kriti. I saw a star in Kriti in her first film, and to see her where she's reached makes me very proud of my judgment. And I just hope she travels. I hope she continues to travel further and further. And I only have good things to say about her. And kudos for the films she does, with Do Patti and or Teri Baaton Mein Aisa Ulja Jiya or Crew. And I believe there is a, it's not been announced as yet, but a few more films to come next year and the year after that. And more power to her. More power to her for whatever she's doing. And yeah, I mean, hats off. I got something right when Hero Panti came out.